Your brain is supposed to be the most advanced piece of biological equipment in the known universe. Supposed to be. But sometimes, it acts more like a confused intern running on bad Wi-Fi. You've probably had moments where your body or brain just straight up glitched, like, why did I just forget how walking works? Or, why does my phone vibrating in my pocket when it's not even there? Yeah, those. Today we're unpacking all those weird, semi-broken human quirks that prove your body is basically running beta software. Let's get right into it. Number 10. Eye floaters, the ghosts of your eyeballs. Let's end with one of the most universal human glitches, those squiggly little shadows that drift across your vision when you look at a blank wall or the sky. They're called eye floaters, and no, they're not bugs, or hallucinations, or signs you're being haunted by your ancestors. They're actually tiny clumps of protein or cell debris floating around in the gel-like substance, vitreous humor, inside your eyeball. When light enters your eye, these particles cast shadows on your retina, and voila, you've got little ghost noodles trailing across your vision. You can't look directly at them because they move when your eyes move, like they're shy or playing tag. And your brain, ever the frugal roommate, usually filters them out unless you're staring at something blank, like a white wall or the sky. That's when they party. They're usually harmless unless they suddenly multiply or come with flashes of light, in which case go see an eye doctor immediately. But otherwise, congrats, your eyeballs are haunted by themselves. You are literally seeing the inside of your own eyes, which is either awesome or disgusting depending on how squeamish you are. Basically, you are a walking bundle of glitches, charming, weird, and occasionally haunted by shadow worms. Number 9. The lag between thought and action. Ever try to move your hand and noticed a teeny tiny delay between the thought and the movement? Like your brain sent an email to your fingers and they were like, okay, give us a sec? That's because your body is running on what can only be described as delayed Bluetooth pairing. There's actually a measurable delay between the moment your brain decides to move and the moment your muscles respond. It's milliseconds, sure, but you can feel it when you're paying attention. This lag exists because your brain has to fire signals down your spinal cord and your muscles need to process and respond. It's not instant. You're not telepathically moving your arm. You're sending bioelectric texts through your nervous system. And like all texts, some get delivered late. What's worse? Your brain tries to cover up this delay. It retroactively adjusts your perception of time so that everything feels instant. But in reality, you're a few milliseconds behind the moment. So yes, you are technically living in the past at all times. Your perception of reality is a laggy livestream that your brain is editing in real time to make you feel in control. Sneaky. It's like reality has buffering issues and you're the one with the weak Wi-Fi. Number 8. The nose blindness paradox. Here's a game. What's the one thing in your room you literally can't smell right now? Answer, your own smell. Don't take it personally. Your nose didn't betray you. It just got lazy. This is called olfactory adaptation, and it's one of your brain's energy-saving features. After about a minute or two of detecting a consistent smell, whether it's your cologne, your sweaty gym socks, or that suspicious mystery odor in the fridge, your brain goes, this again? And stops telling you about it. Because apparently, your brain thinks ongoing threats don't matter as long as they're predictable. This also explains why your friend's house smells weird to you, but totally normal to them. And vice versa. Everyone's just marinating in their own personal air, and nobody notices because our brains are cheap with their attention spans. So the next time someone says, "Does this room smell weird to you?" Assume your brain's been muting background audio like a bored podcast listener. Spoiler, you probably do smell. You've just gone nose blind. Number 7. Time dilation during emergencies. You've probably heard people say, "It felt like time slowed down during a car crash, a fall, or while trying to stealthily text back during a meeting." Okay, maybe not that last one, but still, the feeling of time stretching out during intense moments is surprisingly universal. This glitch is called time dilation, and it's your brain's version of switching into slow-mo mode, not to make you cool, but to help you survive. When you're in danger, your amygdala, aka your fear center, gets cranked to max volume. It dumps adrenaline into your bloodstream, your senses go haywire, and your brain starts recording events in high-definition detail, like 4K, 120 frames per second kind of detail. But here's the twist. Time isn't actually slowing down. Your perception is just on overdrive. You're taking in more information per second than usual, so when you look back, it feels like it all took longer. Imagine trying to watch a movie where every frame is shown twice. The movie didn't get longer. Your brain just got way more footage. So, no, you didn't unlock a mutant superpower, but you did get a free trip to bullet time, courtesy of evolution. Number 6. Auditory hallucinations from nothing. No, you're not going crazy. That sound you just heard, the faint knocking, the whisper of your name, the ringtone you swear just went off, was probably your brain making stuff up again. It's called an auditory hallucination, and it's way more common than you think, especially in quiet environments or when you're on the edge of sleep. Or, let's be honest, when you're really overdue for a nap. Sometimes it's triggered by stress, sometimes it's sleep deprivation, and sometimes it's just your brain trying to interpret random noise and giving it meaning it doesn't deserve, like how static sounds like voices, or how the hum of a fan turns into a haunted whisper saying, "Clean your room." There's also something called exploding head syndrome. Yes, that's the real name, where people hear a sudden loud bang or crashing sound as they're falling asleep, even though nothing actually happened. Just your brain being like, "Hey, I know you were relaxed, but what if, boom?" These aren't signs you need to be institutionalized. Your brain is just doing improv again. Bad improv, with no script. Basically, your auditory cortex is the guy at the back of the class making sound effects with his mouth, and occasionally freaking you out in the process. Number 5. Mirror delirium, the uneasy self stare. Ever stare into a mirror too long and suddenly feel like your reflection isn't you? Like you're looking at a stranger who just happens to be incredibly good at copying your face. That's not you losing it. That's a documented phenomenon with the casual name the strange face illusion. It usually kicks in after 30 seconds to a few minutes of staring at yourself under low light. Your facial features start to melt, morph, or distort. Eyes droop, cheeks stretch, and bam! Now you're watching a ghost version of yourself trying to trick you. This happens because your visual neurons adapt and stop accurately processing what they see. Combine that with the brain's love of pattern filling and your natural fear of the uncanny, and suddenly you're in a personal horror movie, starring your own forehead. Psychologists believe it's a mix of facial adaptation, dissociation, and a sprinkle of good old pareidolia, that thing where your brain sees faces in clouds and furniture. So yeah, you can totally creep yourself out using nothing but a bathroom mirror, bad lighting, and an existential crisis. You're welcome. Number 4. Wordnesia. When you forget easy words. Have you ever forgotten the word spoon or stared at the word V for so long that it started to look fake? Congratulations, you've encountered semantic satiation and its chaotic cousin, wordnesia. This happens when your brain repeats something so much or focuses on it so hard it temporarily stops recognizing it as real. You say a word 5 times in a row, let's say banana, and suddenly it becomes this strange alien collection of sounds that couldn't possibly represent a real fruit. Banana, is that a real word? Am I okay? This is because your neurons get tired. When you repeat a word too often, the connections that normally light up in your brain go, I'm bored, and shut down temporarily. The meaning slips away, even though the word is still sitting there, mocking you with its weird spelling. And sometimes you forget simple words mid-sentence, like window or shoe. That's not early onset dementia. It's your brain juggling too much at once and dropping a ball. Your memory is not a filing cabinet. It's more like a weird librarian with a bad attitude and ADHD. Sometimes they can't find the book even when it's right in front of them, especially if they're also thinking about lunch. So next time you can't remember the word toothbrush, just smile. It's not you, it's your cognitive Wi-Fi acting up again. Number 3, déjà vu, brain lag. You walk into a room you've never been in before and suddenly get that weird, uncanny sensation that you've been here before. You know this smell. That lamp looks familiar. That stranger at the table, you've seen them in this exact spot, right? Welcome to the glitchy delight known as déjà vu, which is French for already seen and English for your brain just hiccuped. For a long time, people thought déjà vu was proof of past lives, psychic powers, or mild possession. But science has a less exciting, but still freaky, explanation. It's thought to be a processing error, a brief neural misfire between your short-term memory and long-term memory systems. Basically, your brain accidentally files the current moment in the been there, done that folder as it's happening. So it feels like a memory, but it's brand new. It's like your brain buffering real-time experience with a half-second lag and then going, whoa, didn't we just watch this scene? There's also the possibility that déjà vu happens when 2 brain pathways, familiarity and recognition, desynchronize, kind of like watching a movie with audio that's slightly out of sync. Your brain gets confused and throws out the old "we've been here" feeling just to be safe. It's not dangerous, and it's actually more common in younger, healthier brains, which is the only time you'll hear a brain malfunction used as a flex. So if you get déjà vu a lot, congrats. You're not psychic, you're just running multiple tabs and occasionally refreshing the wrong one. Number 2, the jolt before you sleep. You're just about to drift off, warm, cozy, halfway into a dream about stealing cheese from an alien buffet. And bam, your whole body jerks like it got tased, arms flail, legs kick. Sometimes you make that weird startled grunt and scare your cat. That, my friend, is a hypnic jerk. And yes, it's perfectly normal. And also deeply confusing. Scientists think hypnic jerks are your brain's way of testing the emergency brakes as it transitions into sleep. As you relax, your heart rate slows, your muscles go limp, and your brain, being the paranoid night shift manager that it is, freaks out and goes, "Wait, are we dying?" So it sends a jolt through your limbs like a biological defibrillator. You weren't in danger, you were literally just too relaxed. It's the physiological version of tripping over air. Some theories also suggest it's a leftover reflex from our tree-dwelling ancestors, as in, falling asleep in a tree was risky, so if your body relaxed too much, it would jolt to prevent falling. Cute. And also deeply unhelpful when you're just trying to nap in a chair at work. Basically, your brain is yelling, falling, even though you're horizontal in a weighted blanket. Thanks, evolution. Number 1. Phantom phone vibrations. You're sitting at your desk, being your usual hyper-productive self, or pretending to be, when suddenly, buzz, your thigh tingles, you reach for your phone, but there's nothing there. No message, no notification, no phone. You're not even wearing pants with pockets. Welcome to the wonderful glitch known as phantom vibration syndrome. It's real, it's common, and it's basically your nervous system hallucinating on a very specific frequency. Researchers believe this comes from sensory confusion. Your brain is constantly filtering sensory input, and when you're used to getting a billion texts a day, it starts anticipating them. Your nerves feel a twitch, your brain interprets it as a buzz, and your thumb's already reaching for a dopamine hit. It's like Pavlov's dog, except instead of drooling at a bell, you're reaching for notifications that don't exist. In extreme cases, people feel these ghost buzzers dozens of times per day, even when their phone's turned off or not on them at all, because nothing says advanced species like being gaslit by your own thigh. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.